Campbell and Job the Jacker from Cultaholic.com. Happy birthday today to D'Lo Brown.
I thought you were going to wish me one there. I was like, what's going on?
It was as well?
No, it's not mine
fine,
as well. No, it's D'Lo Brown's birthday.
D'Lo Brown is a spry 47-year-old man today.
Oh, excellent. He's looking well.
Yeah, and you know what? Do you know how you know it's D'Lo Brown?
How's that?
Because you better recognise.
Oh.
News. A WWE superstar has suffered an injury. CAIN, VELASQUEZ and Rey Mysterio have been booked in a tag team match in Mexico. And which WWE stars have been invited to Impact Wrestling? We'll find out soon. Send in bestest wishes to Xavier Woods, who has fallen foul of potentially quite a serious injury whilst in Australia, Jack.
It's an Achilles tear apparently, and I think he mentioned this on Twitter himself and just said a really heartbreaking sort of caption to the picture, which was just, "I'm sorry, it's not your fault, Xavier."
Oh man, you're a human.
Yeah, I do feel bad for him because, you know, he's I think often quite underrated in the ring just because he's the mouthpiece of the New Day and everything. But I think that you often forget that he is actually really, really good in the ring as well, which is a shame because it seems as though we potentially won't see him for a while. An Achilles tear is often the sort that takes quite a long recuperation period.
Well, at this point, we're not quite sure if it's just an Achilles injury.
Okay.
Or if it's a full Achilles tear.
Right.
So it happened in a tag team match. It was Big E and Xavier against the Revival in Australia. And Xavier didn't do anything particularly out of the ordinary. Was coming off the top rope and his Achilles went. So Big E finished the match with the Revival. Again, if it is a tear, then as you say correctly, then that's a long time on the shelf, which is devastating. One of my favourite bits that Xavier Woods did, that I don't think gets enough love, is, do you remember when the New Day were feuding with the Wyatts?
Yes.
And how Xavier Woods was genuinely frightened of Bray Wyatt.
He was kind of susceptible to his mind powers a little bit as well.
Yeah, and there was like concerns that like maybe he'd cost New Day the whole their big 6-man thing. And there was the stuff with the Wyatt compound, which is a bit peculiar.
Yeah,
but less of that really.
I'm quite sad as well. I mean, obviously we've got another excellent Saudi Arabia show coming up in the form of Crown Jewel, but Woods was booked on that card, you'd imagine, because at the moment it seems like the New Day, with Kofi stepping away from the main event scene, it seems as though their 2-man unit that they send out in the matches recently was Xavier and Big E, and they've been booked for that tag team turmoil match at Crown Jewel. And guess what? The winner of the match wins.
Is it the prestige of becoming the greatest tag team in all of Saudi Arabia?
Kind of. It's another World Cup. It's another World Cup.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, no, it's another
they
World
get a cup.
I think I checked. I looked on Wikipedia anyway. It seems to be that's the match listing at the minute. It seems to be a nine-team tag team turmoil match to determine the World Cup winners.
I've just realised Big E a few weeks ago teased about teaming up with a billionaire to hopefully become the best tag team in the world.
A billionaire? Who could that be?
Big E and Shane McMahon. Tag team turmoil.
Absolutely not. I'm not a fan of that. But the World Cup trophy, yeah, they wouldn't do that again. They don't care. The Saudi Arabia stuff's kind of almost non-canon, isn't it? They don't really.
It's very canon-y canon this time round.
Oh, really?
The fact that everybody's on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown doing stuff, it feels very canon-y canon.
It does actually feel very canon-y canon with Tyson Fury and CAIN VELASQUEZ. Oh no. Oh no.
Staying with Saudi friends, and CAIN VELASQUEZ has been booked in a tag team match with Rey Mysterio for after Crown Jewel.
Okay.
Jack.
Yes, it seems as though they're trying to get a little bit more experience under his belt, I guess, because we have no idea how this Lesnar match is going to go. I mean,
a tiny inkling on Raw last night, and
I haven't seen it yet, but I heard that his ground and pound was not.
He roughhoused Shelton Benjamin, but very much emphasis on the rough. It didn't look great.
Oh, right, I see what you mean. I thought you were going to say more rough, less housing.
Quite a bit of housing.
He has been booked in a tag team match, though, alongside Rey Mysterio for, I believe it's a house show in Mexico, taking on the team of Drew McIntyre and Andrade, accompanied, of course, you'd imagine, by Zelina Vega. I think that's not a bad move. If they're trying to build up, CAIN's in-ring experience, you can't find two better wrestlers at the moment, really, on the main roster than Drew McIntyre and Andrade.
It's a good shout, and it's a good shout for where they're performing in the arena, Mexico, where it was actually where CAIN VELASQUEZ had his match at AAA, his trios match.
Oh, at Triple Mania, yes, of course. The one which broke the internet a little bit because he kind of was doing. Everyone was like, "Oh, he's going to come in and just be a beefy boy and beat everyone up. He decided to wrestle a match like a proper luchador.
Yeah, full on luchador shenanigans. And it plays into the fact that from what we understand, CAIN VELASQUEZ still owes a match to AAA.
I see.
Because of the nature of how quickly he was signed up. The agreement was, okay, look, he still owes us one.
Right.
So he could turn up. This is actually great promotion for AAA.
Yeah, of course.
To say, hey, CAIN's coming back to Mexico.
I saw a lot of people talking online about why on earth it is, because it looks from the build up to this Lesnar match as though Velasquez is going to wrestle it like a heavyweight, like a shoot fight style, like his UFC career sort of. And they've been all harkening back to his defeat of Brock Lesnar, but a lot of people have been saying clearly he looked more comfortable doing the springy lucha stuff. So why are they trying to get him to do this kind of realistic looking ground and pound when maybe it's not quite as forte when it comes to pro wrestling?
Yeah, I think because they're playing on the past of the fact that he used to be the groundy and the poundy, so I guess they want to get that out of his system. Maybe then make him a cruiserweight. Maybe move it up to 305 live, so we can have CAIN VELASQUEZ become a cruiserweight champion.
Maybe that's the point. Maybe we'll get that match against Lesnar and they'll lock up a bit and throw each other around, and then suddenly they'll just start busting out, springboards and stuff. That would be
Poison
cool.
Rana.
Yeah, big Poison Rana from the top.
That'd be great. Do you know what? That would be a really nice wrinkle to a Brock Lesnar match, because we've had Lesnar and Goldberg in like the beefy boys having a batter. Like the CAIN Lesnar thing could be something completely different.
It could. It really could. I don't know if it will be.
No.
To be honest, I never get my hopes up too much for these Saudi Arabian shows.
We will be doing a live reaction stream on next Thursday when it's on. All the money that we make from the live charity stream will be going to Amnesty International. So.
And we might be dressing up as well.
Well, my fancy dress arrived.
Mine did as well. Is yours wrestling related?
I'm not telling you any more than
mine's
that.
not, and I'm sad about that. I feel like I've missed an opportunity.
Do you feel a bit like you sad because yours isn't? Okay, I'll let you know. Mine's not wrestling related.
Yours isn't either.
So
that's fine. That's all right.
You're not dressing as you're not dressing as a pilot, are you?
No.
Okay, that's fine. That's not a clue. So we've got it in the neck a couple of times here at Cultaholic for doing unsolicited spoilers for TV. So we have a little bit of a very subtle bit of CGI that will appear on your screen now to denote that a spoiler is forthcoming. Now, it may look like I'm wearing a blonde wig. It may think that Michael Hayes has had a tough week at the office, but it's just CGI. So there you go. You should see it on your screen about now. Title change on Raw.
Yes, absolutely, Tom. There's been a title change on Raw in the 24/7 division. Who would have thunk it? R-Truth is no longer the 24/7 champion. He has been dethroned once again by Sunil Singh. He was distracted by the Singh brothers. Sunil rolled him up. Now he's the new 24/7 champion. R-Truth was confused that there were two of them.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
Because that's his whole shtick.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to Sunil. Winning his first singles championship in WWE, and a massive congratulations to the Singh brothers for recovering from that battering they took just the other week from Aleister Black.
From my best friend, Aleister Black.
Your bestie, Aleister Black, who you were on a little cheeky call with.
I was on a call with last night after work. I rang him up. I rang him up after work.
Can we take the CGI away now?
Yeah.
CGI's done now.
I didn't ring him up after work. I was invited. I was part of a conference call involving Aleister Black, and basically he gives some really interesting answers about his future in WWE and what's in store for him heading forwards. The first question was like, can you reveal any future plans? And he went, no. But he said, I can't.
Of course he can't.
But he said, I can say that there's an exciting few months ahead building up to WrestleMania. Ooh.
Well, I'd hope so.
Me too.
It's going to be a fair to middling trundle towards WrestleMania this year.
The theme of it seemed to very much be the theme of the call. Seemed to be him addressing criticism that WWE are doing nothing with him, because he said that basically we can't see the full picture yet, but apparently Paul Heyman's working quite hands-on with him and helping him develop the Aleister Black character, and that's going to build to something in the future. Now, I was full of hope when I came off this conference call, wrote that up as a news story, published it, and immediately people started replying on Twitter to the link to the news article saying like, when have they ever filled out a big picture recently? And I do understand that.
Yeah.
But I do have faith in Paul Heyman's direction. I think he's great at booking when he's on form. It's just Whether, I guess, that goes right the way to the top and whether Vince McMahon allows it all to develop, I don't know.
I think if anyone's going to be in control of the career of Aleister Black, I'd like it to be Paul Heyman. I feel like that character is something that Paul Heyman can make a bit of a pet project and like really get his teeth into.
Well, he even said Paul Heyman's it was like a hero of his growing up because he loved ECW and everything. And he said if you told 14-year-old Tom, because his name's Tom.
Strong name.
Tom Solidarity there.
Strong name.
That Paul Heyman would be having such a hands-on approach, he'd be absolutely delighted to be over the moon. And he also said that Heyman, as you were suggesting there, I can't remember the exact word he used, but he said Heyman is drawn to people who don't quite fit the box or something like that, who don't quite fit in. Strange, kind of offbeat characters like Aleister Black.
Well, ECW in its day was always it was called the island of misfit toys.
Yes,
it's like in behind closed doors, because it was just this place where the more peculiar characters could come and thrive, accentuate the positives, hide the negatives. It was Paul Heyman's ECW mantra. I think Tommy End / Aleister Black in ECW would have been a force.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my days.
Yeah. And hopefully this does all build up at WrestleMania 36 to Aleister Black versus Sunil Singh. Hopefully that is.
Is that where we're going?
Hopefully that is the big picture.
Whoa, my way or the highway. And finally, TNA Wrestling. Jack, are you a fan of the glory days? Bunny Rabbit is. TNA Wrestling. Excellent. That is everybody's reaction to the news that dropped yesterday that there is a TNA Wrestling revival show happening WrestleMania weekend.
I will say that despite my uncertain reaction there, if they do it well, it could be brilliant. If they take the best parts...
But if they do it badly, it will be accurate.
Yeah. If they take the best parts of TNA, the best of like the X Division over the years and stuff, and the best of various little storylines that went on, and leave a lot of the bad stuff in the past, then I think it could be really good. The problem is, I guess, getting the personnel in.
Well, that's it. Well, one of the things that was floated around yesterday, we talked about this on the news show yesterday, we talked about this on the podcast as well, which is potentially seeing a match between Generation Me, the Young Bucks,
yes, of course,
versus the Motor City Machine Guns.
What were they called? Max and Moon or something?
Max and Paddy, I think they were called. I think their gimmick was that they would just go around in a massive people carrier.
Doing odd jobs up and down the country.
Just caravanning on the road to nowhere. But that's one of the matches because the Young Bucks tweeted out a picture of themselves as Generation Me and TNA, and Scott D'Amore went, yeah, we'll have that. No politics, no BS, let's just have some fun.
Right.
Scott D'Amore, in the same interview with ProWrestling.com, said if somebody in the tower wanted to let Bobby Roode do a Team Canada reunion or AJ Styles come back to where he was the face originally, the doors are open.
I mean, I can't see them doing that at the moment.
I can't.
Given their reluctance to, release people from contracts when they want their release, as we saw recently with Mike Kanellis, and given their reluctance, I guess, to really... and I understand it from a business point of view, but I just don't think they'd want to help out the competition in that way. I think at the minute, if AEW hadn't come up on the rise and everything, and it was just a smooth sailing kind of landscape for WWE at the minute, maybe they'd give them Bobby Roode for the night or something.
Like a little goodwill gesture, they would have gone, here you go, you can have them for a little bit.
But I can't see it now in the current climate.
You see, this is the problem then, if you're going to do a TNA revival show, so many of these guys are locked down with, no pun intended, to WWE. Obviously Abyss is working behind the scenes there now, so that kind of rules out the Monsters Ball and the Last Rites match. Bobby Roode is there, Eric Young is there, AJ is there. No doubt many other people thinking, am I a joke to you? But a lot of people are signed up elsewhere. I'm trying to use... But the one thing we said yesterday was Ken Shamrock, the original headliner of NWA TNA.
He wrestled Moose last weekend.
Yeah.
And he apparently looked pretty good actually for his age. But no, it depends, I guess. Yeah, if they can get the right people in. Obviously, Shamrock, you'd imagine, would be part of it. The Wall was involved.
As the Wall's no longer with us.
No longer with us. I thought maybe when I said that, oh, that's sad. I don't know. I don't know who else could
James
be.
Mitchell.
Father James Mitchell, of course. Although is he in a creative role right now? It's every part of TNA from those days has kind of been scattered to the wind, haven't they? And it's hard to keep up with where everybody is.
Look, I tell you what, just give us the Johnsons versus the Dupps in a hard 10 match. That's TNA, refereed by Dixie Carter.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, yeah, what if Dixie shows up? They wouldn't invite Dixie.
Put her through a table. She was good at that table spot.
Yeah, she was.
I don't have an outro. Oh, spoiler. I do now.
You do have one.
Do now. Here I am in an ill-fitting t-shirt telling you about Patreon. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. You can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/Cultaholic. Lastly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.